No, I just saw basically part two or episode two of Inside Trading. That I was sort of surprised because I wanted to talk about it, but at the same time I'm feeling a little bit too sick. But I still decided to make this video because I did enjoy it so much. Of course, if you never heard of Inside Trading, this is the first time watching or hearing someone talking about it. Sort of like a web series from YouTube called Insider Trading, and the whole basically series about this sort of in your race who sort of abducts Earth, becoming that sort of kind of fake god in a way, but they're not trying to be the god. They're trying to just help humanity so they can sell them off like trading like wild animal stock now words. That's the best way to describe it, but done is sort of like a Rick and Morty sort of approach. They have that sort of mean spirited but at the same time super hilarious but super earnest that is basically like Rick and Morty but in the style. But I love it is the animation is just so refreshing and unique. What I mean is, every couple of minutes, the animation sort of change the pace of the dialogue of the situation. Sometimes it's CGI, other times it's just 2D animation, sometimes it's very low animation, almost like a rough Doug-ish kind of look. When I mean Doug-ish, kind of like how life is sort of depressing and ugly, they go that direction. But it all depends of the dialogue. And the dialogue sort of changed to make it more happy and more intelligent. They make it more clearer, more sharper, more professional. And that's the thing, it just sort of grabbed my attention. It just you don't get tired of it. And also the dialogue is just so sharp sometimes. I was sort of surprised. It's how kind of smart and clever he wants to be, or how idiotic the same time when I should say something intelligent, they win something stupid. And I think this is the reason why I keep coming back to Insider Trading, because it is very different and very refreshing. Of course, before I continue breaking off actually episode 2 of Insider Trading, my name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I had some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going, you like to help my channel, put a like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that's fine. If you don't, that's cool. But you do it. Thank you. Because of you, I'm getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And yes, I'm getting close every single day because of people like you. People who like, comment, and share. Thank you. Now let's keep talking about episode 2 of Insider Trading. Now, episode 2, you kind of follow Ileana, the agent from the BAC, this sort of Men in Black organization who try to understand who is as our main character, but you find out this organization is very bureaucratic, that everything you do has to do with paperwork, but the more she's trying to do with paperwork, the more she wastes her time. Almost frustrating seeing the bureaucratic paper, it's just sort of pointless. You thought she would be sort of the focus of the whole episode. No, it's just sort of telling you what she's doing during this time, tempted to figure out what to do with Az. As our main lead, he's trying to figure out what to do his sort of situation. He also kind of info dump more information what he does, like what he does with the humans after he sort of upgrade them, how much each person costs, depends how much they know, and how make sure not they get caught. Because the first time he did it to help the human race to evolve a little bit, it's just sort of accidental. Now he's actually doing it on purpose, but the only problem is his rival or son of frenemy, Graves, kind of knows something's up because he doesn't want to be screwed, because at the very end he's a scammer. And Graves, he's an asshole. He is so enjoyable. I mean, this guy is so talented, but he's sort of that street hoodlum, but he never get out the streets out of him. Every single word is just insulting but idiotic, but yet he's so intelligent. It's like they don't know where to go with them. It's because he just cannot let go of that part of him away, but he just so hilarious. I can't stop laughing every time Graves reappears. He makes my day, in other words. But I love it how he attempted to basically screw up Az. Like, here, like, let me give you a new phone, because he sort of accidentally broke his phone by accident because as trying to understand what Graves actually wants because he's realizing Graves is sort of creeping on him for some apparent reason. But he knows why because he's the one who sold them the human race for stock. And he's trying to understand what's Graves actually who he is. And he looks up to Lecker breaking down who is Graves kind of analysis video and breaking down his basically backstory. And you find out Graves he's basically a Spawn type of character that he quite literally ripped the skin of his original owner. He became his own thing, becomes more smart and intelligent, and he ate the original member who made him. So he became the most powerful character in his own world. But business sense. But because Grave is just a asshole street hoodlum, he just does things down below and just cover it up downwards. And that's what Grave is. He's not a nice guy. But I love it, he's not the only one. You also have the other character, Elliot, that she's still looking from Ash also his whole point of view, trying to get more information of him. But doing this sort of information hunt, Grace got pissed off because hearing the video what he is, breaks the phone and tells Ash saying, I can carve it. Here, use this phone that I show you. We're not stealing information. Even says and behind the phone. But Ash is not dumb. He knows he was stealing this information and also look the information what he doing with the human stock. This is a point when Ash just walked away and attempted to basically buy a new phone. But this is the interesting part. This is what the information come out. Like, what did Ash can actually do next? Even that, what if he does, could be very risky. But the more he risks, the more money he gets for the human race. But he's trying to understand what is the perfect thing to do to not they technically get caught. He also understand what Ash can actually do because he's not human. He's sort of this sort of not alien, instead of a eyeball worm can reproduce or spit something out on him and make it his command. Because when he did this, he did specifically for one specific thing, is to spy a specific human race who is smart enough to evolve or create something brand new. But he realized the human race is pretty stupid. I mean, let's face it, we kind of are. But once in a while, he does find that strange oddball who calls himself a sort of professor who very weird experiments. This sort of spawn, this sort of algae can reproduce and make basically energy. But this is the issue. This sort of new idea he made is not perfection. He cannot basically make very strong energy to basically make a house work nowadays. But Ash realized, wait a minute, maybe I can do it. Maybe I can basically, let's say, inspire him to create better equipment. I mean, I'm not interfering in the way he was because he pretended, well, I'm not interfering. He quite literally possessed the guy to make sure to record it, make this sort of a dream to realize, ta-da, you made it, but not really. You just basically pass. Yeah, I made all the work for you. And I like that sort of idea, like, he did it. He imagined it. Yeah, I like that sort of half-ass sort of approach with Ash. Like, he knows he's gonna get caught anytime soon, just helping this human race to improve themselves. But I love it, this sort of breakdown, because after the professor woke up, realized he reinvented the algae to become more efficient, more energy improved, and the professor just went crazy, like, yeah, I'm gonna party all day. But in scientific approach, everybody questioned the professor, like, you create something brand new, why you did not document? And the human race sort of questioned that, and that is kind of true because that does have a ripple effect. Because Graves also questioned how that can actually happen while in the paperwork. Also, not just Graves, also Ellie from the AGB, or the government she works in, and she also questioned how that possible, how you do it while doing paperwork. why you do that? That does not make sense. And leaving clues on like every single direction, pointing to as he did interfere in the sort of evolution of the human race. And I found that sort of interesting because Ass only did this because he kind of encouraged by this sort of kind of Steve Jobs lookalike, trying to convince him to buy a new phone, but also elevate yourself with more pressure. Be one up yourself, elevate yourself. The only way he knows to how to elevate is just sort of kind of screw over the human race, believing they evolve higher in a way by accident, and that is sort of very questionable. But at the same time, pointing out the person who promote the whole thing is sort of this kind of Steve Jobs ripoff. The very end, yeah, he used to be the greatest person, a greatest salesman. Now he is sort of a hobo who eats stuff in the floor and just basically paying with beer because he's just a great speaker. And I thought that's sort of like a good metaphor. What would happen to basically Ass that he actually finally get caught? And that what actually happened the whole episode. It was actually pretty interesting, especially the dialogue. It just was so great and interesting and funny in how they built the world. Just really grab your attention. You also understand how as it's super easy to be manipulated to one up himself, trying to be elevate himself, be more attentive, more sophisticated, more risk taking, even that everything he does is sort of illegal in a way. And I thought that sort of interesting because let's face it, a lot of people get invested with, oh, you invest this if you do certain things, and you do know you may be doing something illegal, maybe, but you risk it off just for cash. I mean, you want to make more money. And that's just sort of interesting because Ass is not a moron. He is, I want to say not fully an average Joe. That sort of average Joe, he does realize it's sort of maybe a scam or maybe a dangerous thing, but he doesn't anyway. He was completely screwed either way. Why not? Even that he kind of can't fix it if he leaves the human race do its own evolution slowly, but because he's just too deep in, and also Graves sort of keep harassing him, trying to find out any information. You get, you understand. He getting sort of desperate. He also, I kind of like that sort of informed up on how the human race is sort of valuable only if they're sort of attached. Even each single human knows one or two things. You could separate sort of categories of every single human to value the price, but they avoid to actually asking that question. Okay, what happened after you sell the human? Like, what happened to him? And that's sort of interesting. This is the reason why I like this sort of world building. It's not the how they sell the humans, what is as race, like who is he, how he can make it, how they formed this sort of organization business that's just sort of normal of their own people or not, or only Pacific smart people, or some are basically rule over them. We just don't know. That asks a lot of interesting questions, but they don't want to answer every single one. They take the time to really figure out how to mold this to make it a great thing. But I love that sort of fun sort of mentality of Rick and Morty. That sort of, we answer some question, make fun of it, we evolve, and we be earnest. And that I just truly enjoy because you wouldn't expect it. How this world is just so interesting fun, especially the animation. The animation just changes, depends what is the dialogue or the setting, what it actually truly feels. And one of the few indies who actually do this on purpose. When I mean purpose, some indies don't do it on purpose. They do it because they don't have the money. They just set up, well, they have to be this because this is the emotional part. We put more money in this section. The rest, we do something else, something cheap. And this one they don't, because the creator, what he sort of said on his own YouTube account, how he did some videos explaining the reason why he decided, it just sort of makes sense when you talk to someone. Like sometimes the vibe change and the animation should change what the vibe conversation gives out. And I thought that's sort of smart what to actually do. I thought this is one of the few animation projects that really follows the animation sort of rule. The vibe is all about the conversation. And that is just sort of very interesting. I don't know you. What do you think about the episode? What was your favorite part or situation what Ash put himself? And it does actually convince you to watch the series. Have you watched the series? Because it is very fun, especially if you feel Rick and Morty lost his touch. I highly recommend this one. This one feels what Rick and Morty begin with, that sort of fun, creative, universal universe of a lot of scientific weirdness, but they use more kind of sci-fi alien technology, but yet make it so basically dumb enough to make it smart, but still making fun of it, but yet still be kind of wholesome and believable, not trying to be like a fully asshole. But it's sort of hard to do that, believe me. I had ropes or some dialogue back in the day because I like sort of being asshole type of characters, but I forget I have to have that sort of softness, a sort of kind of respect. You can't be asshole all the time. And believe me, that's a very fine line to work because it's sort of hard to stop being an asshole, be just a human being. And this is what it does so well. It's sort of the asshole, but yet it become more believable because how earnest and honest you want to be. And that's just hard to do. That's why I appreciate it. You mastered that type of dialogue. It's sort of hard to do. This is the reason why asshole comedy kind of started dying because people forget you have to be open and earnest. Like if you're honest and being mean spirited, you have to be honest being pure, how you feel on the moment. And this is what I appreciate. They understand that so well these 2 episodes. I mean, this is what I really enjoy. Hopefully episode 3 goes on and developing more about the backstory of this world. I'm just truly invested. I don't know you. Have you seen it? You give it a chance yet? Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.